No, yes.
Yeah, Agiti podcast. Yeah, come back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go. Are we on?
Yes.
Okay. Hello guys, welcome to Sense and Friends once again. Today usandile lona ku Sense and Friends ngiphethe abangani bami lana namhlanje. First thing first ngiphethe uBishop Prince Ntuli from Grace Life Center. And then ngaphatha uNkolo PK from Gospel News. Konje what's the channel?
The regular.
The regular, yes. Yeah. Mina ke ngumfoka shaba ngumpela kwanje.
Lesithathe asifuna ukuphuma. Asivele nje.
Okay, can you start your work? Oh, it's recording. All right. No, it's fine. Today sizokhuluma kabanzi lana no Bishop uPrince Ntuli esimaziyo kabanzi la eWitbank. Angihamba ngiyi1 ngihamba noNkolo PK the regular in the show.
Yeah.
And ngizocela nje ukuthi bazi-introduce kwabona because I'm not going to read their profile. Let's go sir.
I'm Prince Ntuli, founder of the church.
Come on.
Influencer.
Say more, come on.
No. Yeah, man, what else can I say?
Yeah.
I wish I could say husband, but
Yeah, not yet there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for influence. Anyway, this is Mpura PK, the Bishop's daughter. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a presenter at Gospel News SA. I'm a makeup artist. And I'm a regular on the show. You'll find me here.
Yes. No, we thank you. You came all the way from Pretoria today. We appreciate your effort, which we got here. So, guys, what do we talk about today? Just before we continue, we just need to recap on what has been happening since last week, actually. There's a lot happening Mzansi as far as entertainment industry is concerned. Firstly, we just want to pay our condolences to the families impacted in the past few weeks. Obviously, coronavirus and other types of death that has happened. So we're just going to highlight a few guys. Sean Ferguson and the Amapiano guys. So so a lot has happened, guys, and then we've noticed how many people wanted husbands. Like we were just talking about it now.
Sean.
Like, Uncle Show, guys. Like.
So since when you were a lady, so what would you tell us? Since we've seen a lot of posts, sisters.
But honestly, guys, like. Well, Uncle Show was just the role model. Like,
yes.
Everyone, like he was a loving man. Like he loved loudly.
Yes.
He loved his family loudly. He loved his kids loudly. His wife loudly. Most importantly, wife.
Yes.
So the love that we all deserve.
He was lighting complexion.
I'm speaking on behalf of every woman.
Yes.
Every woman?
Yeah, every woman deserves the love.
That's a bit presumptuous.
Every woman deserves that love. That Shona was like giving.
Yes.
So sonke deserve luthando.
But the question then will go and ithi angithi manje but ithando is a two-way street, So you would you would think that Sean was like this. I won, but you forget that there was a woman who was complimenting. Yes.
I really agree with you. I totally agree with you. But there's love a two-way.
Yes.
Love is a two-way street. That is the season the Bible says. The Bible says that must love.
Yes.
So they two-way. Love is two-way.
It's two-way because there's I give you love and then you must give me respect.
You must submit.
Yes.
I think we find ourselves creating standards in our minds. Some standards are not even scriptural sometimes, Some standards are not even reality. You can't put a standard that no man can reach and expect that you're going to get a husband. I think what we can get out of this man per se is he loved loudly, yes, but
Definitely.
are we getting into the depth of what they were doing together? Because as much as he was a great man, there was a woman who was there playing her role as well. So we need to balance things out. It's no longer women are better than men and men are better than women.
That's true.
There must be roles that must be done so that we make this marriage, this relationship.
So Auskoni was submissive, while the man was loving.
You see, that's where I think we should get.
And then that's where my question is.
As loaded as she was.
She was submissive.
But at home, she knew who she was.
Exactly.
And to think that if we look in on their journey per se, Uchi Ukoni kind of married before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because if you take a history, Shona, he didn't have all these things that he had now.
That's where we ask and say, how many women are willing to build? Because that's where it all starts.
Yes.
Are you willing to see what I see?
But guys, let me tell you something. As women, we're able to build only if we see love. Hey, we can't be building where we're not seeing love. Because firstly, let me explain this. A man is an initiator of love.
Yes.
So a man must love loudly so that I can see, oh, okay. Loudly doesn't mean posting on social media whatsoever.
Yes.
But you must love me and let me see that you love me.
So
that maybe I can be able to say, I want to build with this person because I'm born good to. So I feel like Shona firstly showed us Connie that I love you, you know, with his words and also with his actions. So Connie was like, this is the man I'm going to build with because
my worry here is
this.
Are we having enough systems that teach men how to be loud in their house?
Yes.
Because we grew up in different races, we grew up in different
totally.
I don't know what to call them, but our backgrounds are not the same.
Yes.
Some men are taught to love very loudly, some men are not taught how to love. So I think for me, what we should focus on is, are we educating men enough for them to be able to say, men, I love you?
Do you guys feel educated enough?
I think there are systems. I think now with the technology that we have.
Do you think are they enough?
Yeah, not enough.
Do you feel personally you are well educated about love?
Sure, no.
Apart from life itself, it taught me a lot of lessons.
You have to be broken. You have to be broken.
I'm asking this because with us women, and there's always women events, there's women's month, we attend these things, we learn, we get to listen to people's stories. So do you guys have these things whereby you get to learn, share your own experiences as man?
I think apart from the jokes we make about men's conference on Twitter, you know, that are not real.
Because
we don't even have those.
Because if you guys had those things, you can imagine if Ubabu Shona, while he was still alive, having such a gathering, teaching men, this is how you need to love your wife.
Yes.
This is how, you know.
Not just the wife. Love
your kids, love your family.
Love your family.
You know. So maybe if he had that opportunity
what comes first?
To talk about it. But also I still believe there are still men out there who are like Shon, who can still do that and be like, this is how you
can I be controversial? I've never heard another man say to another man, I love you.
Because you guys feel like
it's weird. It's weird. Come on, sense I love you. No.
and honestly, you know why you know what you're talking about. I remember back in the days, you know, we used to go stratting, see Sbamben. You know that when we grew up as men, we used to go around streets, Sbamben and so, like as guys, as boys. But the more we grow, and I realized which that thing, it came. You understand? And again, we used to share food, you know. What's happening?
I don't know. It's falling. It's falling off.
Where's my Chenkal guy? You see, we used to what you call see the clinic we want. So it's Genesis one.
Sure.
And the young lendo leo ihamba yaphela. You know. Yeah. So to an extent, I guess we have lost the plot as people in general.
Yeah.
So then we must maybe find a way that, like I said, now for me, our systems, what are we doing for men that will allow them to see themselves as it's okay to love.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
as much as we have all these women's conferences, are we having men's conferences that are balancing things out to say men must love?
Yes.
It is normal to love. It should not be an abstract idea to say, do you actually love me? Because I think we put love in action, and which is not wrong, but at some point the action becomes love.
Yes.
Because that's why you find men saying, I'm buying the food in this house. I'm
True.
taking both. And that's his way of saying, I love you.
Yeah.
And he feels he does not need to say it because, well,
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
Because
you
action speaks louder than
You
words.
must do it both. You must-
Technical guy, can you assist us with the mic here?
Yeah.
Yeah, wala.
Fair.
Yeah, anyway, Mina, I think more than anything, I think we can actually value Tatama lessons from good writing. And then what you guys say about the genre Amapiano now? Now that we have been experiencing, or we experienced this painful event. Oh,
I see where you're at, please.
I think I'm not very clued up on that.
Amapiano.
Yeah, I'm like music.
No, right. Kuluma, speak your mind.
No. I personally, I always tell people, I think I don't listen to any other genre except gospel, not because I'm a pastor or anything. Young Pumangala Mfundis.
Amapiano.
Yeah, but I do come across certain songs when you're watching TV.
Yeah.
So I saw on social media there was these, I think, two guys, I think Mpura and Kila.
No, Killer Cow.
Yes.
Actually, there are 5.
I didn't see the other 3.
Yeah, there are 5.
Yeah. Now, I will always say one thing about certain actions that have consequences. We tend to think alcohol does not have an impact on our decision making and what we do. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. Most accidents, I can therefore estimate and say maybe 95% of the accidents that happen on the road are alcohol related.
That's true.
So, as much as I don't have an issue with the genre and what they do, I always say, Ubusha is a nice thing. Sadlula lapsa jiva nathi. Sabona ukuthi kumnandi. But can we not do it responsibly? If we are going out and we're going to drink,
Yes.
can we not get a driver to take us to our place of destination, because then at the end of the day, we find ourselves having in the morning, rest in peace. And it could have been avoided.
Yes.
You know,
And we can't say it was time. It was not time.
No,
it can't be time.
It was
That's
not.
what happened.
It can't be time because
You know,
But it's sad.
Yeah,
It's really sad. And also I was reading, I saw on Facebook the guy that they collided in, Ubabum Dala, who was
I say
driving the
lady
bike.
or
No, it's an old man who was like not really old, but
yes.
who was driving the van that
Oh,
collided.
because usually I was traveling from Krembo, because the lights were off, like the lights did not work. Braking lights were off. His headlights were off. So this guy was driving literally near Faith, and Krembo Road is very curvy and stuff. So sometimes it's not entirely caused by the one who died or the one who was wrong. But if there were lights and we saw him, maybe this not avoid a little accident. So maybe Nagit on our sides, can we check our cars, man?
Yeah, just for the headlight loop, guys.
Check our cars.
100 rand, the
Before
headlight loop.
Puma, if you're able to come by my lights, come with what's wrong. If the oil is die. Check our cars, man.
Yeah, because what do you say about Mbone's statement? Taku Prince KB, he's speaking almost something similar. It doesn't mean if it happened, it was meant to happen. He was talking based on that. We need to anticipate harm. Most things are man-made, so you influence your destiny in many ways. That's why prevention is chief. Obviously, he received a lot of backlash on Twitter. The people that were agreeing
But he
with
was
him.
telling the truth. That's the thing. I feel like he was being honest, but his timing was kind of wrong. Because at the end of the day, people are mourning.
Sure.
It's kind of painful to some people. To some people, abantu persona, So it's kind of personal. Now, if I were to lose someone knowing him and then someone else speaks like that, I kind of feel no, man.
I got feeling.
Not
yeah,
the
how
time.
we feel, yeah.
Not that time.
You know, I feel like the timing was totally out of place. He's telling the truth, but the timing was wrong. Maybe he should have waited until Sektulile and then he posts about that.
But I think maybe he was like, hey, let me jump on this bandwagon. What is hot, you know? Because
no, but like the timing
it was just
totally
just
off.
the
Another
following
thing,
day.
when-
It was so
second,
insensitive.
Maybe-
and early
family, to
hours,
people
like at
close.
almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sure. I think you need the
insensitive.
information to say. It's a simple thing. Men only respond and people respond on social media to rape when there's a rape case.
Yes.
I was right, but the timing was wrong.
And then
Totally.
backtrack.
And I was dragged and they hammered me. Hammered me.
Bagley.
You know?
A whole bishop. You can't even text the
The
word.
whole bishop bang hammer, but sometimes we jump to respond
It's
and
important.
we don't check the timing
Yes.
of what is said. It's like sometimes it's wisdom to just wait for the right time.
Yes.
A certain pastor usually says to me, indaba ilula, when you go to a house and baceda ukushonela, the verse elithanda ukulikhutha elithi lithi ngibende le verse ngiyalikhohla.
Mfundisa akakhohlwa ivesi.
Ivesi ngiyalikhohla.
Akusilele ukuthi umqhuba emqhubeni
No, not that one.
inyama.
Le lokushona mara lokushona. Lekshona le verse.
Yes,
But
as a whole
we say
bishop.
that verse,
Yes.
and that verse says something else. In the context of a verse, was not saying exactly that verse. What that verse was. So we say these things to make our point heard, but at the time, that's not what people are waiting to
Yeah,
hear.
that's true.
Yeah. So you have to wait and say, okay, Polan, before this is the verse. It says, "Ningakhali njengabantu."
Yabanganatha.
Abanganalwazi.
Njengemuva.
Abanganalwazi.
Oh.
Because sometimes we cry and the pastor comes and I'm crying because I just lost a loved one. You know.
Bese uthi
But, and then
ngingakhali
ngiyafika
njengemuva.
ukuthi ungakhala umuntu onganalwazi. Manje ngiyenzeni if angikhala. So timing in everything we do, timing.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yeah.
Uzungazuyithola off track. Sesingenela wena sesifukile kule topic esizini.
Yeah, but guys, also with the piano guys, ne?
Yes.
So I was watching this other video on YouTube,
Sure.
and then apparently, Mpura, the Mpura guy, had like several girlfriends, and they're now coming out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
Guys, why did Fisha abantweni?
Yeah. No, I saw because omunye upostile ngokila kawo, may his soul rest in peace.
Sure.
Upostile wa aposte which it was nice. It was like a video uyabona ukuthi
Yeah, I
and
saw
everything.
it. But that
And then
girl, with
if-
that girl, I
Yes.
feel like
How
it's-
many girls came out?
No,
Seven.
with Ukila what who?
Ukila kawo.
Okila Kao. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okila Kao. I totally I would actually stand with that guy because he posted his girlfriend on Instagram.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend did a tribute.
Yeah.
So we all know the girlfriend because posted.
But-
But with
but my
Mpura,
with your
he
girlfriend,
never
man.
posted anyone. So we don't know who's who.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I get.
but it never fihleka at the end.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ngiyavuma.
fihleka ngisho nanoma
Because
file.
Mpura akasekho ukuthi azosifenda
Exactly.
cha,
Ngisho
it was
nanoma
just
file
one night.
fihleka. Angisho bavuma ukufihleka aphila.
We need to understand
Exactly.
one thing. There are different reasons for us not posting our relationships. Now there are haters, there are critics. There are people who just don't wish us well. So sometimes we protect our, especially in,
But
in the entertainment
but
industry.
abogela more than one
Like
or two,
it's
3,
four.
4,
I think
5.
it's 4 or
I'm not
5.
defending the one with the 7.
Yeah.
I'm saying to
Or
you,
the one with one.
sometimes we don't post that one girlfriend we
Yeah,
have
true.
because we are trying to protect them from the entertainment industry,
Yes.
from ministry, whatever the case may be. Because
Yes.
when you open up too early, then the relationship itself gets harmed and dies prematurely because
Yes.
of us maybe releasing it to people too early.
Yeah, the
So
people would fight it.
I don't know how long they've been in the industry. It's the first time I hear about them, by the way.
Yes.
But
You are such a bishop.
They are piano kings, especially Killer
What am
Cow.
I think that's such a-
Hey.
Tell Uguti, hey,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Killer
yeah.
Cow.
Yes.
No, but like trend
This
the
guy.
first guy who's doing hip hop, and
Casper.
No, he's doing a mixed hip hop and Amapiano.
UJR. Okay. It's one of those. No, it's one of those upcoming artists, Amapiano.
Sure.
Because there are many.
So how long have these guys been in the industry? A long time.
No,
2 years.
Okay, let me just say, Amapiano has been there during the days of Scampatella, Palalaraba Scampatella. You know those guys from Pretoria.
I know the genre from Amapiano. I think it's been
and then
for
Tim
like
Tunda,
4 years now. 4 years.
And then Tim Tunda came with Keza Shesha. And then it gained momentum. And then piano, the kings of Scorpion Kings.
Yes.
Scorpion Kings, Kabza and
Kabza, the small,
Maporis.
there's the guy.
I would say they made it popular. Like they made it like fashionable.
Sure.
Yes. While both them two like Dalabakon. And then them two wabuwa pambi stock to John Wick.
I think if Mina Bening Sash, if I was
I don't know
in the
anything about
entertainment.
Amapiano. I don't know that much.
I feel like I'm gonna
Listen. Like
I'm anything but
Anisha guys.
and I think I've always been like I said. When I started listening
I
to
only know
Mali,
the famous songs.
Which
but
one?
there
Like
you go. The one
Njengova,
that you see on
like
TV,
Esdumai.
the one you hear on the radio.
I know the song because
I know
it
the song
trained.
because they're trained.
Yes.
But it's not something I would go on YouTube to listen to. Like,
Yeah, or even download, or even have on my phone.
Like
Yeah,
R&B.
no.
yeah, no.
Okay.
John Legend,
Come on.
Tony Braxton. So, but I still maintain, I think the industry is a cruel place.
Yeah, it is.
I've had a privilege of meeting a few people, and you listen to their stories. Entertainment industry, once you release your private life to them, then you are opening up to haters and critics speaking over into your life, saying whatever they
You're
wish to
really
say.
opening up a can of worms.
What you do will end in tears.
Because if I say to them, I have a wife, like Shona and Connie did, I have a wife. The day maybe, I'm not saying this, but these things do happen. The day maybe I make a mistake, I give people a right to comment on my life because I've been public about my marriage.
Yeah.
So you even find that people are even hiding their
But
wives.
how do you post about just like for example just like about Shaw and Okoni, their life was so private, but also they gave us a glimpse of their love.
Yes.
But Mpura was very private.
I will just quickly answer that. Minnie tried it to give us a glimpse. It backfired. It was the last time she took us to her private life, and then Tando Duma tried as well. She was dragged.
Sure.
And then obviously she was. I think
it has a structure. You need.
I think for Karabo and
them,
them, for Connie and Uncle Shaw, probably it's because of age and maturity level.
You know what I'm afraid of is this. I'm watching a lot. I'm not a TV person, but I have the privilege of walking into the house and told them my aunt's watching these reality TV shows.
Yes.
And I think once you open up yourself, once we see your house, and once we see what you do for a living, we automatically criticize. Then the human nature kicks in. And you're like, no, but in general, no, you can't.
Yeah,
you know,
segment
6 sessions, you'll find out it's okay. She's a
and this is a taller, you know.
And then what do you say about Somiz and Mohale?
Guys, Somiz is some Kuza as he country.
No, some Kuza.
So some Kuza see country, some Jena, some Guais.
I don't remember the Kuza.
Something do not do it.
Like
everybody in the country was like, Somizi must not get married
but
to this
guy.
Marriage
thing
Somizi must not marry this guy because probably this guy is young. He didn't have anything. Somizi took him in, bought him cars, like one connector. He's well connected now.
He's about to put 50% man.
Yeah.
So some
cheese.
Some Hali. What's happening, guys? What's your thoughts there? We are some Hali, please. Oh, Muhali, man.
Guys, Muhali.
Okay. Okay, let's leave the past alone. What's happening there? What's your thought, guys? So easy.
I feel like we all saw it coming. I saw it coming.
Sure.
I feel like I saw it coming from the beginning.
What it won't last.
It will end in tears. And Umuhale was very smart about it. Hey, he was so smart.
But do you think he's straight?
I think he's by both. I think it's.
Then if it's like that, then it's his good shot to get 50%.
I think he is bisexual. I don't think he's like totally gay, like fully gay. Yeah, probably.
No, never know. But yeah, it happens, guys. And
Some Kuzusomizi, he should have listened to the coach. Yeah, we made us
and the man benguza kubuhlungu shame yazi my idols angithi usamile now.
Yes. Oh my
Metro
God.
FM
I know on radio he's on.
Yeah, because I remember that day it was Ask a Man. So a Metro FM poster Ask a Man with Somizi and
Dino
Ranaka and Mpura Satan. Who's that guy?
JJ.
Naked DJ.
Yeah.
And then Twitter big fire. Yeah, check it. Come on, Metro. Why is Somizi still there?
Yeah.
Because you did this to Fresh. Fresh was also I need to freshen our allegations.
Yeah, I remember.
Keeper. And then TJ Spoon I had his stance. Bashashabam keeper. Go Chibotai, Chibonang, and then why Somizi is still around? And then I think a day or two, and then Wachai Samile. But hey, him coming back, I don't know.
But like it's really painful. You know what pains me is that Umuhale is totally. I feel like he's not grateful. Yes, Somizi had his own downfalls.
Abusive though.
Yeah, like what they have. Even with that, even with that, Somizi built his life. He built that guy's life. Like Manje, he's an ambassador of so many companies. All the connections he got them from Somizi. If it wasn't Somizi, he was not going to be where he is now. The only thing that he would have done, Bekmele, thank you for the life that you've given me. Keep your things. Now I can be able to make my own money.
Yeah, instead of demanding
50% money. What? I feel like he was supposed to say, keep your things to kickstart my life.
Yes.
I've kickstarted my life. Manje, I'm making a living. I'm affording myself. It's fine.
What does
Thank
he do
you.
now?
Bye. Sure.
No maps.
Yeah.
Or he's
just there.
Not only model, but
doing
like
things,
he's
buying things,
ambassador
but
for
you
Mini
don't know what he's
Cooper.
doing. Yes.
For Mini Cooper. So yeah, some companies also.
AKA guys, I saw him on Twitter. He's
With
back
Casper.
in studio. No, that show.
I saw it on Twitter.
The show. Okay, I know that.
I'm sorry for that. I know this too. They had people at some point.
AKA this week trended for two things. One was with Casper. After Casper to Zojata, Angisho guys, attached to the show. And then two, we studio. I thought to Uno Paul Ahman.
Are they still having beef, these two guys?
Yeah, actually.
Because you know what happened. You know
now.
the story though.
I know the story. I remember the story.
I don't know the story. Yeah. I'll listen to you talk about the story.
All right. Yeah. No, the story is Akiri AKA and whatever happened to him this year. So now SAPC wanted to continue the prize show. You know, where he prize and interviews people.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do it without him now. So they're gonna put a new face of which is Cass.
And they had a
show. And then here Cass.
And then Casper took it to social media.
And Casper, he's
gonna do it better than.
And no, you know what he said first? He said, hey, this has been an unfortunate day for him because he wanted to celebrate. Yeah. But unfortunately, at the time, Shona the kings of the Amapiano.
Yeah, I remember.
So he said something like he would have celebrated, but then unfortunately, there's been an incident. So we will reserve this celebration for tomorrow. So we all like, okay, Cass, we're waiting for you because we already know the news, which is the new host from Go Film Pella.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history. 2 days later or 3 days.
Came back with a bomb.
But later, which I stop on the show because AKA unama issues of what dealer now. So legally, so So the show, it's been cancelled.
And then Casper came back, and he was like, AKA Utsugi Uti, he's gonna host the show better than he did because of another one.
Yeah,
So I was like,
I mean, if you're gonna fight for something that is
spicy.
Yeah.
no, it sounds like yes.
Yeah, they've been
Like
doing a
they've
bit.
been having big.
At some point, I
like-
thought it's fake or
but I feel like
stunt,
it's
but I feel like it's
unnecessary.
real.
It's really unnecessary. I feel like I see like. But
But do you think was this the right move for the production company to go ahead?
I think there was.
I think it was the right move.
No,
for
it was
the
not.
for the wait,
I really
wait,
feel like, wait,
listen.
I have to say this. This was planned. It sounds like there was some sort of
Guys,
that was
for
put there.
publicity.
Yeah,
Guys, for publicity. This is what you need to do in order for people to actually to get more viewers. They were strategic about it, and now if Casper is going to be the host of the show, more people are going to view it because is he going to do it better than AKA or not? So obviously all of us will be glued on our screen and the show will be making a lot of money. So that's
It's
the
about the
strategy.
views.
It's not
The media
about
is
your
here.
personal issues.
Sure.
It's about us making money.
As long
That's
as we
it.
make the money.
And after that incident, and then AKA post a picture, it's a studio now. Like post a picture, we are recording, is back on recording music, no Blakey. The guy where
Oh, I think I saw a picture on Instagram.
Yeah, I thought that was a pop from Man United.
Well, he
Why can't we
was
make
never
the
gonna
same
be in a show forever.
Eh?
Why can't we make the same money?
Money like them.
Yeah, I need a songwriter. I need a songwriter. I need to make such.
No, okay. Talking about making money, let's talk about church here in this case. Now we're coming back to you, Bishop.
Wow.
You asked
to church.
Yeah, no, we thought let me just
to the trip, didn't I?
yeah, you said you. So, okay, talking about making money,
Sure.
Do you think? Okay, let's talk about your journey in general. Discovering your purpose. You are still young and you're already a bishop. That calling must be like we respect it. How did you come about to get where you are, though?
that story is very long. I'm gonna summarize it
Yeah.
into sections.
Yeah.
Firstly, I think every young person has to go through growing up.
Yes.
We grow up not just spiritually, but we have to grow up. Whether it be mentally, whether it be your body, you need to grow up. So I grew up in a setup where it was very easy for me to find my purpose.
Yeah.
I won't lie, and there's always backlash. No parent, no brother, no friend, no uncle wants to hear you say, "Look, I'm called. I'm a pastor." It's still a weird thing for you to come up at the age of 17 and say, "Look, I want to be a pastor." When other kids want to be doctors, when other kids do, because I think we must acknowledge at some point it is to a certain extent a career.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
A career,
Yeah, you need to rely. You can't rely on it. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can, but sometimes
No, yes, and of course, we were getting at that career. We learned
we have to acknowledge it is a career.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I did LO.
But also a
we all
calling.
did LO, I think.
Yes.
And pastor was a list of. It was part of the list of careers that were there, even in the constitution or whatever, that list of careers that we have.
Yeah.
A pastor is recognized as a career. But I'll start again and say, growing up, you need to find an environment that allows you to find yourself. If you don't find yourself, then you find yourself being all over, everywhere where you're not supposed to be. And ultimately, we end up being hurt and finding our purpose because we did not find people who believed in us. So I think I had a very easy and conducive environment for me to find myself. And that's how I found myself. At the age of 17, I realized I could preach. At the age of 21, I realized that I'm ready to start my own ministry, but I didn't. Because also timing is important.
Just like David.
Just like David.
Come
timing
on.
is important.
Going to check now.
He was 17.
Jesus, the center of it all.
Timing is important.
Yeah.
If I had started that ministry at 21, I don't think I would be sitting here and bragging about the fact that I have a church.
So you're actually literally bragging.
I'm bragging. I have a church.
You're literally bragging.
Yes.
I made it.
No, says whoa, Susan, Bishop, I want to 3.
No,
No, all right. Yeah.
literally, man, I think this is one of my greatest achievements.
Yes.
I won't lie, it's not been an easy journey. But we were given, by the way, I was given 2 months to last. Somebody called me literally and said, if your church lasts more than 2 months, dude, I'm going to give you 1,000 rand. And I'm still waiting for my 1,000 today. We are on 8 months.
No, but it can't be valid, so maybe let's
No.
count.
If we count the amounts, we can't be valid. We have a year and 2 months. Just say. So we've been doing this, man. God has been good. Nothing but grace.
No. So
Nothing but grace.
Yeah, nothing but grace. That's true. But
So-
then, yes.
How is the journey so far? It's a year, right?
Yeah.
A year being a pastor. How is it? How's the journey been?
Every journey has trials. Every journey has
fun.
problems. Every journey has its nice time. You know, I was saying to the church last week, I find it frustrating waking up Monday to Saturday because I feel like I'm not doing what God is supposed to be doing through me. You know,
Yeah.
it's only on Sunday where I feel revitalized, like my body's a new creation on its own. And I'm like I keep saying, once you found what you love, whether it be media, whether it be poetry, whatever, if you find yourself when you do it, whether you're doing it for 500 rand or you're doing it for 0 rand, you're still gonna do it because you love it. So the journey has been great. It's been great. I won't lie. There's challenges there, but the challenges make you a better person.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, had I not been passionate about this, had I not been called for this, I would have given up on it a long time ago. Because there are things that cause you to think you are not called. There are things that cause you to think this is all false. You thought maybe you were too lazy to go study.
Yeah.
There are things that make you think, look, other young people are doing exploits out there. I think you're just lazy to push something different.
So, yeah.
So I stood by my decision because I know what God showed me, and I know what God wants me to do, and that's what I'm doing, man.
Amen. So you think, so as you said, pastoring is a career. Do you think a church is a business though? What's your take on that? Is it a business or it's just?
I will answer this both in a duet manner, in a manner of speaking. It is not a business. That's where people get to be revitalized.
Yeah.
That's where people find strength. If you check statistics now, when there was lockdown, there were people who killed themselves. The number of suicides increased, not because people are generally going through the most.
Yes.
But when they don't have a source of motivation, then they find themselves even in a worse state than they were.
Yeah.
So church is a place of refuge, it's a place of safety. Yes, to a certain extent, people are doing it as a business.
Yes.
And it is running successfully so.
Why do you think people are? Why do you think church is making easy money?
You know what my ethic is? Run church like a business, but treat it like a church. Why? Because business ethics are the best ethics you can ever use. Business people take their stuff seriously.
Yeah.
They are always on time. Business people they honor people. They generally respect other people in their field.
Yeah.
It's only when we get to church where all of a sudden the standards are compromised. I can get to church at any time. No, the pastor is just a pastor. I don't have to respect him. You know. But business people have certain ethics that we should be practicing within the church. Business people don't have time for. I'm gonna throw this here. I know I might not be accurate, but I'm gonna throw this in here. They, like real business people, don't have time to be floozing around with all these girls.
Yeah.
Because they are busy, you know. But it's all of a sudden when we get to church where the standards change and I have time to do everything I want to do. And that's when you find yourself doing all these mistakes because you've got time on your hands.
Yeah.
But if you take your craft seriously, I'm a preacher, I need to read books. I'm a preacher, I need to listen to other preachers. Exercising the excellency in my craft, then you'll be doing a lot better in what you're doing. We going back to what we were talking about Casper, they invest in their craft. He takes care of his body. I follow certain celebrities on social media. He goes out there, goes to the gym, and goes to see producers and he's having meetings all day. And when he gets back, he does a video, and people think that 30 seconds video of him dancing is what he does for a living. He wakes up and does nothing and hopes somebody's gonna call him and come and do a song. But he's working on his stuff, man. He's writing. And when he releases a song, I'm trying to think of a song. When he releases that song, it becomes a hit. But you don't know how much time is invested on that hit. So everything has a process. You need to invest.
Yeah.
If you don't invest in it, then it comes out shallow on the other side.
Yeah. So what do you say about artists in the gospel industry, in the gospel field, that are recycling songs? Because I don't know, many times I heard you are Alpha and Omega from different artists. Yeah, you are Alpha. Someone is gonna track you are Alpha. Someone is gonna Omega.
These views are not to be expressed by the church.
Yeah, obvious. Look, not your church here. It's just you.
I'm pro people writing songs.
Yeah.
I've always been pro people writing songs. But I always say, let us not forget where we come from.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You see, like, let me just speak.
You know, there are songs that take us back to where we come from.
Yes.
I always say writing songs is good.
Yes.
And sing songs that have meaning as well.
Yes.
Exactly.
We will have
and also, you know, that we always need to be reminded of.
Those songs that speak to, like I was saying, it's not entirely a remix. It's more of a. It took me from somewhere, so it's my testimonial song, man. So wherever I am, I'm gonna say to them, Aliko igama elisenjengalo.
Sometimes it's more of like a tribute to your own situation or to whatever.
But again, I say, I really admire people who write songs. It's a beautiful experience to find your own experience in God, and you just start writing about it, and you have a beautiful song to release. So, but let us also not forget, Lasa, Minankuliso I won't lie to you. Kuliso Gogo and Gakoko, Menin Manfi, and Tolo Katulis Ngoma Zulu. Some of them are starting to make sense now. And as a pastor, because you are going through some trials, and Uziva Sotuling Gomagako, and you're like, I never thought I would be this old in spirit. I'm not this old, but because of the trials I'm in, that song starts making sense.
Yeah.
You know. So I think the song brings meaning to where you are. I've seen musicians, even in the entertainment outside of gospel, where he sings about his life and he starts saying, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich. He was not rich when he sang the song. But I need to be rich for where I'm going. And then one day when he says, I am rich, you have to respect the fact that he is rich because he was singing about, I'm going to be rich. So the song must make sense to where you are at the moment. So if Alpha and Omega makes you do that, man. Do that.
Yeah, no, mind you, it's been a pastor. Why are you not married?
Okay, before
why do I have 3 phones?
Yes.
I have a work phone.
Come on.
This is my work phone. It's an FNB SIM card. So I call people with this SIM card. And then the other 2 numbers, that's the numbers that people know. So the other number is new. I think it's about 2 months old. The other 2 numbers, I've always had them since I was 16. So I'm a consistent person. It's just that telecom is a bit expensive on data, and Vodacom is just it's Vodacom.
Yeah, when you're savers, you saving techniques.
No, because I if I've had your number when I was 16, I've always had your number. I've always had the same people on my phone, and like I said, I've always been consistent. It's not about the 3 phones. It's more about why.
So kula phone now 3. Why kungana wife?
Yes, akwele kumbuzo wakhe ke manje.
Wife guys.
Njani momfundisa ngekho?
Akho nentombi eyiwani efunayo. Okay, challenge vele.
Ngizumuntu omusha so.
Bathi nangithi bathi na uzintroduce uthi no-bishop, kusho ukuthi khona umam-bishop.
You
know?
Khona emkhathini. In the spiritual realm ukhona uhlezi.
Awuphendule ke sizwe ukuthi
I think I will always maintain that when the time is right.
But will you ever marry a person from your own church?
No.
Like
No, I'm thinking just already. I'm just having.
Like it's just look, but don't even think about the people that are there already, because there are people who are still gonna come to your church.
If God
would you
allows me
marry
to,
in
yes.
your church?
If God allows me to, yes.
Do you think that would work?
Yeah, I don't know how you move from being
Just a member and
a
then.
church member to being my wife, but yeah,
Especially when you're a member,
I think
you
it's-
just
yeah.
anyhow with anybody.
Yes.
And in Manje, we now have to start calling you. They have to start calling me Mamfundisi.
Mamfundisi.
It's
Yeah.
a whole change,
Sure,
and it's a whole.
it takes a certain level of maturity as a person. Loyo muntu loyo kumele abe umuntu understandayo. I was their friend, now I'm their mother. You know,
Spiritually.
how
The
do
corner
you
you
move?
must not change drastically.
No, you don't change drastically, but they must be able to tell the difference when I'm in mother mode and I'm in friend mode.
Unless, I think when you're Mamfundis, you don't have to have friends or something. Unless if you're a person who's
You
very
should.
quiet.
Yes.
Or something,
Yes.
then suddenly you become Mamfundis.
That's why
That's
it's me.
better.
The reason why we are afraid of our Mamfundis bed is because they portray an image of not being approachable. I'm sorry, but if we were to allow people to be themselves and be fun, if umuntu oxoxayo xoxa.
Yeah, be that person.
Of course, if you're a quiet person, be
Yeah,
quiet.
quiet,
Why
yes.
not? But I have a feeling that we are sending off frequencies of umamfundisi must be umuntu strict, ongangeneki, which is not true. I want my
actually
wife to be just as fun as I am. I make jokes. Ngiyahleba, guys. Yo, ngihleba nomngamo. I hope my church doesn't watch this. No, on a serious note, guys. Ngifuna ukuthi masiphume sontweni. Singaqala ubaba mazibuku yangidina. Hayi no, guys, iphapheli thina sahleba. No, but there are things that you wish to enjoy with your wife, you know, spending time with your wife. Outside, I think church is a very big movie. It's by and it's your act. And sometimes you just need to detox and maybe be myself.
So while we're still on the topic of marriage and wife and whatnot, I want to know, as a pastor who has a church, are you allowed to date, or you vele uthi ngiyoshada loya tumele umfundisi akhulumele
guys.
umshade,
Hey, guys,
or
Shona, guys. Awu,
kumele udate for a period of time?
Lento yokuthi sotshela umfundisi akayikhuluma lento engifuna ukuyikhuluma. You know, the dispensation is different. The generations are different. I really think if it works for you, why not? But I don't like that system personally, because I feel it's not a true expression of what I want to say. You know?
Yeah.
Then the expectation probably from that person is not what I have in mind. You know, so now you are dealing with umfundisi ngapha, you are dealing with me. So ngifuna ukuthi mangifika kuwe ngichazele ukuthi ntokazi ngibona ngathi wa mother bishop Jesus. Ngicela ukuthi uyibone kuleyo level, and I want you to build with me on that level.
Yes.
But if ibeka umfundisi uzothi kunobhuti othi, and then angisho njalo. When I don't do that, then the expectation is you failed me. But I fail, you promise.
Yeah, I also said that.
So do what works for you. There are churches that by announce and say, "Fundis, we are dating now." I don't believe in that because then, like you are bringing people into your business too quickly. If Seni sure, because that's the truth. When we date, guys, I don't care who you are. I hope you're watching this, pastors. I don't know.
Yes.
When we date, we don't go there because we see vision in a person. I don't care who you are. You are first attracted to the person and how beautiful they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we start talking about, look, I think you are the type of woman I want to be with.
Because you were attracted.
You are attracted.
So do you find it challenging for you to get people that you can approach because of how you are perceived? I mean, a bishop. Because they cannot, like someone who relates to you, like you as a princess IT versus you as a bishop, it's different now. I'm sure even people that got used to you 5 years ago, now it's like, hey, how do I talk to this guy?
I'm always having arguments with people. Why? Because I'm perceived to be the most playful person ever. And most pastors are still struggling to because to them pastoring is serious. It's uptight, man.
Yeah.
And I always say to you, who you are on the pulpit should be, it should intertwine with who you are off the pulpit. On the pulpit, I make jokes about the fact that I'm not married, and it's me. And you can't then say, Lombana lo fun. No, it's too much for my liking. If you can't handle me on off the pulpit, then you definitely won't be able to handle me, because I'm consistent. That's what I believe. Because we portray an image.
Yeah.
Pastors are living lives that they are not. When they are on the pulpit, they are so serious. But when they are off the pulpit,
guys, pulpit, he has a different voice. Maramakashe pulpit, he has a total, like, I'm a voice out to
So
yeah, you see, that's another thing.
Like, you wouldn't even say it's this person.
Yes.
It's a total different. You're like,
when I grew up, I wanted
two
to preach.
people.
I wanted to preach like Noel Jones and Bishop T.D. Jakes. I used to.
Yeah.
And I realized it's not working for me, man. And my voice was always burnt within the first 10 minutes of my sermon. And then I realized, if this is not working for me, there are different type of preachers I can listen to. So generally, what works for you must work for you. Me personally, I'm a friendly person.
At the end of the day,
my church has access to me, and they respect me as a pastor. Because respect and honor has nothing to do with how accessible you are.
Yes.
You can be honored and respected even if
yes.
You know, I've opened up to my church and I've said to them, you can talk about anything you are struggling with. I was once as young as you are, still am. To some of them, to some of them even. So I try to at least balance myself out, think like a spiritual giant, but also balance it out with thinking as a normal young person.
Yeah, I know. So, do you think then as we're going to talk about like inheritance and what do you call this, black tax, families and all those things? So, do you think what's going to happen?
That's a very tricky one.
Yeah,
I think now I'm calling.
Okay, because you call a ministry, right? Do you think because you are the one starting?
Sure.
Do you think later when you want to retire, you're gonna give it to someone who's got a calling, or you wanna keep it in the family?
Legacy as a legacy.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Calling is calling. I don't want to have this as Mduli Ministries. It's not Mduli Ministries. I have to place somebody that God says must be my successor when something happens. Our churches, I'm gonna say this boldly, most black churches don't have succession plan.
All right, let's go to succession plan as we talk about churches. What's the plan towards your retirement age? Are you gonna keep it in the family, or you gonna just give it to whoever God says you must?
The next Ntuli boy must be a pastor.
Because you look at people like Joel Austin. I mean, he's still continuing from his father.
A lot of them. Even like Ukayam
he's taking over.
Yeah, he took over from his father.
Recently announced that his son is going to take over Rhema Bible. Is it Rhema Bible Church?
The Rhema Church. Yeah.
Rhema Church.
Wow. Okay.
Look, if your church is,
guys,
if your son is called, why not? But if I don't want us to impose our gifts on our children. You know, I wouldn't want. I wish my child would be a pastor, but I wouldn't want them to feel like they don't have an option to be any other thing. And I think most people, there has been a pastor that gave birth to a pastor, but because of the struggles that their parents went through, and they've seen how their mothers and fathers are suffering, and they just saw, I don't want to be like this. And I think that's where also as parents we must be fair to say, there is a beautiful side of ministry and there's a bad side of ministry. You must balance things out and tell your family about the good side and your family about the bad side. Because if you don't balance things out, then they think church is a bad place.
But also as a parent, I believe that you must be a person, especially as a pastor who believes in God, you must be a person that always speaks life.
Sure.
over your kids,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Into believing what you are believing in.
Sure.
So that you pray for them and also you speak life over them
That's it.
every day.
That's
Ukuthi,
it.
that is what you guys are going to follow. It doesn't matter if you guys become pastors or not, but you guys are still going to be Christians as I was. You guys going to be born again. This is what you're going to, like, just speak life over your kids so that one day, not that
Yeah.
but
They
so
must
that
have
they must
this
have
one
what
thing.
you gave them,
Then
right?
one thing I have to say after this is, yes, I will preach the gospel to them. You don't even preach it to them. You teach it to them. So you say, this is how we live lively. I always say to my church, good morals don't take you to heaven. There are good people out there. They do good exploits
Exactly,
and good
that's
works.
true.
But salvation takes you to heaven. Salvation makes you
That's
different.
very true.
So you can teach all these things to your children, and it is their decision. And that's why I always say pastors have the worst jobs ever. Because when my kids go wayward and they start doing weird things, the pastor is being judged for not being too strict. And if I handle them as I handle the church members, I'm said to be very unfair, you know. But truth of the matter is, if my kids are wrong, I must have a way for me to communicate with them. That might also be different from the way I communicate with the kids at church. But I want my kids to reach a point when they say, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
But I do believe, Mina, after everything I said, answering your question, I do believe that umfundisi wami umfundisi.
Yeah.
Umfundisi wami
You're the PK, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, baba muzala abafundisi kuphela except
Manje,
me.
ufuna umfundisi
But
na?
no, ngizuzala abafundisi kuphela except me. I just said except me.
I just imagined the preaching.
You can make a good mom bishop.
So, whatever. But anyway, all I'm saying is, you must leave me alone. But all I'm saying is, umfundisi uyamzala umfundisi.
Yeah,
sure.
Uyamzala umfundisi. So that people must know umfundisi uyamzala umfundisi. That's it.
So, okay, now talk about Ukuzala Mfundisi. Let's talk about inheritance, guys. Black tax. Because as families, you know that, especially black people,
Sure.
you know, our families hasn't like been exposed, especially our parents, ukuthi buy some savings plan and
Sure.
what plans and this and that and then what. So what's your take, guys, on that? Ukuthi, as black people, we need to start having conversations with our families, because this thing of saying we're gonna have a conversation as a nation, it's not gonna work, obviously. But you, as a child, how do you approach? Because I had I have a friend who's working far from here, so she was like, she wanna come home, like she wants to come back home,
But when she thinks
but the results of her coming back, you know,
she's gonna leave broke.
this, that course, because she's here closer
Sure.
now. So at the same time, when she feels like she's wasting money
Sure.
because she's renting and obviously partially taking care of the family this side. So unfortunately, and on that case, what do we do?
Yeah,
Like as young people,
it's
because we
tough.
want
I
to blow
feel
up
like-
as well. What do we do?
I feel like one family at a time saves the whole nation. As you just said, if me am aware of it, let me help my family, help your family, and everybody else will be helped. And also, I think we need to understand, well, there are two sides of this, Mina, that actually, because in Filangati, at some point, it's not that you're paying them back for what they did.
No.
Yeah, but so now that you're working, you have to pay them back. You know, you have to build them a house. It's something that I just, because it's lacking. Yeah, it's not about saying exactly but I feel like because Nami, as I'm working, saying right, it's me saying Lampuma corner, I want it to look proper.
Sure.
You know, before I could go away ngifuna ukuthi mangekhaya nami ngibe happy nangene kithi ngisho ngithi ya ngiyikithi mangihamba nabangani bami be able to say this is home, this is my home. So it's not about anything else, but it's about your sanity and your own peace. But also futhi at the very same time there are parents where they make you feel guilty, even not even saying it straight ukuthi sakhele, but bazokufeel so guilty. You understand?
Yeah,
because sometimes impilo zethu has fun. Maybe mina maqeda university immediately I get married. Automatically maqeda ushada saying no muzi and already saying my responsibility already now as a baby and my responsibilities are piling up Guti angisakhona ke size ekhaya. So that's why ngithi our lives are not the same. So just because when you go to work wahlala uyi-1, you're able to help, so don't compare yourself with a person that couldn't because of their own journeys as fun. So I feel like I think that's what we need to understand.
Nina, my take on this one will always be the same. Once you think of it as black tax, it will feel like black tax.
Exactly.
It shouldn't feel like tax. Tax is something we give to the government because they force us to. If you don't do it, you're going to jail. But it should feel like something you have to do because you love your parents. Look, I always say this when I preach, to say we are always born at a disadvantage. You are lucky if you are a black person and you're born into a family that's rich, that's doing well, and you don't have to go home and build a house for your grandmother, your mother. In fact, some people are born into two generational deficiencies. They have to go back 2 generations.
It's a lot.
Mara yakubona kwakade existing yokulobola ubana kalobola ngubani
you see those are things I always say to be to me I don't think
I think that works for people who are just not born again.
There was a family I knew in my previous church. They could not get married because the older brother was not married. So now the because so now you are forced to marry because your younger brother wants to get married, which for me is just it's things that we found and we'll probably
it's totally not fair. And our parents are not privileged as much as we are. You know, they never had the full information. Most of our fathers, they were gardeners. They didn't have much money, you know, to even number one, we have done about 8 and we gardener. Uma umsebenza emakhishini usafuna futhi ayobeka imali ukuthi amqedele ukumlobola ngisho bahluleka ekuqaleni so asiqhubeke ngempilo. Why
my sentiments are this namanje ngisasho I need us to understand the ethnic group we come from. We are black and we must know sometimes you have to go back home to fix your grandmother's house, fix your grandfather's house, then bring your parents into the picture. And you might even have to take care of your parents all your life long. You just need to find somebody who has the same ideologies as yourself. But also, our parents must be fair on us. I can't earn 10,000 rand and give you 8,000 rand. What am I supposed to give to my wife? What am I supposed to do to take care of my household?
Talking about that before you continue. What's your take in terms of like who should I talk to as a mother? Ushadile.
Speak to the wife. I feel like you speak to the if umama ka prince. Guys, let's be realistic. If umama ka prince or prince is married, the mother, if she needs something, she must speak to the wife. If umama ka the wife, you must speak to prince.
You know why I'm afraid of this one? The challenge is the relationships are not the same. I'll make a typical example with me. My life is I'm not caught up in ubano yegu what. So if you go and jump me and go and ask my wife for money, if my dad was to do that, for an example, jumps and he says from Prince, I wouldn't feel offended. Because I understand where he's coming from, and I also would have believed that my wife would have understood my relationship with my dad.
But what if
the same thing?
It's a problem.
The same thing. The same courtesy must be given.
That's why I need to mean that that's why I need to the same courtesy must be given. Also, it is. I feel like even if it's not given, I feel you as a man, you need to sit your family down and be like, I'm married.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm married. Because at the end of the day,
also communication.
Communication. Your mother will ask you money, and and then at the end of the day, I must know also so even though hence
it's two ways, you understand?
Yes.
What you can do, for example, my mother comes as my wife, man, and I equal the man. Comes twice and I told. At the end of the day, she'll say, I do not what you know, no more.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think it can be two ways. The mother can come to me But me as a husband, I need to make sure that when my mother asks something, I communicate with my wife. And when we take the money there, I give it to my wife. My wife will be the one that gives her.
But also, I feel you need to tell your mom, Ma, communicate more with my wife. Like you as a man, you need to tell your wife, your son, your mother.
I'm against this system that says, Uban me like Uban. We must be able to communicate as a family. I think that's what I'm trying to push to say. If I say Aguna man, my wife also says that Naman.
You know what's the problem? You know what's the problem with that? Of saying, let's say, as long as there's a communication. Because yes, there can be a communication, but at some point, if they will automatically have that thing yokuthi abasahleli phuma kwabasana ndaba vele bazofika endlini bakokote ungakha bavulela umnyango bamdlule baze kuwe sithundu bathi ibhuti besicela amaqanda bashiya umkakhe emnyango. You understand?
Now it's no longer an issue of sicela sekuyi-issue endelelo sekumele si-address indelelo.
So ukuze ingafiki kundelelo. That's what I'm saying. You need to tell them as early as possible.
I say to
respect, but
maintain a conversation or a conversation and communication between the two of us to say, Stanasam, when she finishes asking me for money, I said, hey Jesus, I can't wait for this moment. My life, yes. So you address it with her to say, my mother or my father has just asked me for money. Do we have the money? If she says, look, Stanazam sends a 10,000 rand and it's 7,000, says he spent like say 3. Give her 500. I will give her 500. Whether she's asked for 2,000 rand, I give her 500. If we don't have the money, we don't have the money. The communication then must be between the couple itself.
That's exactly, but the man must always.
Then people must stop this assumption to say, because then the problem is the parents, it's not the couple itself.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying to you, Mina, the communication must be between the couple itself.
That's true.
Whatever comes from the external must be communicated here. And then we decide on it here. So that we don't appear as divided.
Exactly.
Say,
it's just like
say,
siblings.
Yeah, I can't. That's a great example. Me and my brother would fight a lot, right? Sometimes being no police he solve C2. But mase fika kibo sesiyikhuluma kahle sithi ukuthi mawufika ngalothini uwile. And my parents believed us because we came as a unit. So my point still stands. If we say aguna mal, and not because we are lying to them. Sometimes that is no unfair. If you call man, why not give it to them? But if I equal like really I equal, then ma ba asna mal. And until I understand it's not even about my wife. She loves you dearly. She appreciates you dearly. But
But honestly, my last words would be like different strokes for different people.
Yeah.
What works for you, do what works for you. But at the end of the day, never allow your family to disrespect your wife. Never allow your family to disrespect your husband. But what works for you, as long as we want disrespect from both families.
You know what I'm just thinking?
It's fine.
To a certain extent, I know that it would have been my mother who had more trouble. Like, you know, appreciate it to mama. I make a corner the thing sharp. More honestly speaking, guys.
Yeah, I remember someone once said, "Mutasho jalati na ufune husband." Because
my guys,
sometimes
my stepmother is a beautiful person, guys. Like she will love my wife, but my mother though, sure. Like I think baby you basafi good, prince. You understand?
Yeah.
It's sometimes you must know that, and now itself you must communicate to your wife to say, Sanasam, my mother has a bit of a high emotions. My emotions are very quick to respond. So just let it be, man. Sometimes just let it be. You know,
But also you need to tell your mom also now, let my wife be.
I'm not
You
gonna
can't be
pass on
doing
our
on the one side
bipolar.
and not
that's the
be
challenge.
exactly.
But guys, here I'm still standing here and saying the same thing. To say you must communicate the same story to everyone.
Exactly.
Kule balance. To say,
Exactly.
man, now, ngiyacela, man.
Yeah, man, Matt, stop doing
Must
this.
corner, like, just
Be tough.
Nyana,
As a
don't
man,
compromise.
as a man, you need to protect your wife at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Be tough to your mom.
Mina, I think men are afraid to address their parents.
Exactly.
And that's the truth. To say you need to protect your wife from your parents.
Amen.
She can't have to fight
Hey,
for.
because I'm in a question. I hope, husband, you are listening.
Yeah.
Hey,
All I want to say, honey,
Amen.
I hope you don't have parents. But you know,
Hey, fashion, I know. When I learned with guys,
women have a general problem with in-laws. But I still maintain.
yeah,
My ideology still stands on marriage and every other thing.
Yeah.
Be with people that understand who you are. When you can understand what I believe in, what I'm about, what I do, even in marriage, if you marry the same person who has the same ideology as you, we don't have to be compatible. It doesn't have to be a lot of things.
That's why a background
But it
check
just
is
has to be the
important.
same ideology to say, I believe in building relationships.
So you think which background
Check.
influencer? in
Background
terms
check
of
is very
dating
important.
someone?
Before you get
Yes.
married, you need to do
No, I
background
mean,
check. It
who
can.
date and
Not background to find mistakes. No.
Not to fight, but you need
But
to
to know how she
check
thinks.
the background yomuntu ukuthi okay we background in so
It's
so if magabe background in so probably this is how she
Ucabanga
thinks,
njani.
that's how she does
School of
things.
thought circle
So
is influenced by the environment
Exactly.
you come from.
Oh God, you make a good mom, Bishop.
come on.
Hey,
In another church.
at the center of it all.
In another church. You make a great mom bishop in another church.
No, she
Let's
started
make
the thing figured out. She knows what she's looking for. Yeah.
Azalani, I have a wife. Love, I'm not part of this. I don't know what's happening here. But I'm saying, guys, in this being said,
Yes.
my story still stands. Ilula land, you're trying to balance things out
Yeah.
with your in-laws and your wife.
It's very
Protect your wife
Yeah.
from your parents and also make your parents understand. Maliti Bible, Abraham left his mother and his father. It means exactly that.
exactly.
It's
That's
not,
why I mean
it's not a spiritual wisdom. There's no revelation.
that's why I have a belief
It's
ukuthi
just a
abana
straight
mawushada the most important thing man kahle kahle abantu nabashada abahlale kudeni from both their families
I like it.
because it saves
Wait,
drama.
Ah,
Move if you guys are from
If
both
you can,
Witbank.
please move.
If you can move so that you stay far. Yo! Babele batheneke sinini bathela
Makoti. Okay, guys, we can talk until Shona, yes, because I feel like we touched a very, very hot topic. Mara say, so say more next time.
We need to talk about it.
Yeah, we need to talk more
because
about it
was-
because
Yeah, man, that's my favorite topic.
All right, guys, this was Sense and Friends doing a chill and podcast with Sense and Friends. I've got to be show Prince. It's on the Kotkala Mobaniskati.
9 o'clock every Sunday, Boxing Club in Vili in Witbank. Come visit us. We are a great, loving church. And we have a powerful preacher.
Yes.
All the way from the United States of Akaville.
Hallelujah. And then your social handles, where can they find you? The church?
I am Bishop Prince Ntuli on Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I'm like Instagram, Facebook, and my church page is Grace Life Center on all my social media platforms. So just follow us there and check us out. You will find it very worth your time.
And then OPK, your show, tell us.
Yeah, please, guys, do subscribe on my own personal YouTube channel, Golo PK. Please,
Okay.
please go subscribe. And also, yeah, follow Gospel News where you'll see me presenting, doing the things. Follow their social media platforms to see everything. Follow me on Instagram, Golo_PK. That's basically it.
Okay, Sense and Friends here. Ukona available YouTube, Sense and Friends, go Facebook, Sunday Shabang on Twitter, master_sense.
Come on.
Because I'm literally like master at what I do. Hey, Jesus. Class mo na ngoma la tu. Galani shiny shiny.
Pula pisho.
Until next time, peace. Uncle.